But, Mike, if I come to you once the player performs better than Smolinski, Stumpel, Niedermayer, Kozlov, Alfredson, and Sanderson.
Yeah, but see, I don't care what they got. You keep coming back to the marketplace, and I keep coming back to my team.
You only go through this career once, so you can't afford to screw up. You can't afford to be making mistakes.
We're going to keep growing the game and making it bigger and better. And as the money grows here, don't change.
I want to be in a position to average out 1.5.
Jesus Christ.
You're fighting for a job here, and unless we see you be more assertive, you're going to Kentucky Friday morning.
Why, Pinch? Why? You got no chance to get the puck anyways.
Maybe it is time to think about 2 officials and 1 linesman.
Should have a Canadian division.
That's right.
You guys up there.
Yeah, that'll do it.
If we continue to grow, then our shot in the barrel will come also.
Every year, for more than 70 years, for general managers, team owners, and players alike, the National Hockey League season has come down to this.
Hang on. Hey, excuse me. Coming in with you.
The Stanley Cup is the oldest championship trophy in professional team sports. It's still the fulfillment of a childhood dream. It can still cap off a Hall of Fame career. But now, getting here takes 12 long months. And what the Cup represents has changed. In today's NHL, contending for the Stanley Cup and turning a profit are linked as never before. Winning teams have to figure out how to go on winning. Losing teams better figure out how to start.
And now, hockey fans, let's have a rousing Pittsburgh welcome for National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman.
We are thrilled to be in Pittsburgh with our fans at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena. The reception for the entry draft and for league personnel and our top prospects here in West
Just a week after the Stanley Cup final, the league's annual entry draft gets underway. Already, the next season, the new season, has begun.
Right now, it doesn't look like there'll be any movement on the picks, but I think we're going to wait right until the 4th pick is there. That's when I think we may have a little bit of action. My hopes are already so high, just making a pick at 4 and making a pick at 5.
I actually feel better now because our list is the way we want the players taken. And I didn't like Longo not being on the list. So if it comes to 6 and he's there, we're taking.
Are you going to tell him who we're taking? Who we're thinking of?
No.
I just say we'll tell you at our.
Okay. What if it's just Kristich for our 8th? Did you do that? Kristich, and they're 15 for our 8th.
Hockey normally gets played in this arena. Today, it's a different game. The league's 26 teams are facing off against each other. Over 500 top NHL decision makers are here. Each team stands in the other team's way. There's a lot of strategy and chance involved. The stakes are high.
Franchise now in the league are worth $80–85 million US, and the players are probably worth at least $60 and $65 million of that. Each individual draft is probably worth $5 million to the franchise. And so today, we've got an asset of $5 million that we're investing. But even those late picks that are, asset-wise are probably worth $100,000 today, if you make a good pick, it becomes a lot more. That decision in the 8th round or 7th round, what today is an asset of $100,000 maybe, could become $1 million. So it's important.
246 prospects will be selected in this year's draft. Joe Thornton of St. Thomas, Ontario is guaranteed to go first overall. The Boston Bruins want him so much they've already begun contract talks. Thornton is worth more than $1 million right now. According to NHL Central Scouting, the young Canadian possesses all the physical and mental elements needed to become a dominant NHL player. A gifted playmaker, Thornton not only patterns himself after Wayne Gretzky, he has the Great One's agent representing him.
You were asking us last night.
Number 6?
About the number.
Yeah. Hey, it's fine with me.
Don't, listen, don't do it if you don't want to. Like, you got to feel really comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, people that have been around the game longer, I can tell you, combination, you got your look now, making a statement like Gretzky when he came with the hair. Now you got a number that's identifiable.
Exactly,
you know?
5 for Chris? You only wanted 5 for Chris?
Chris Madden wants 5. Grandma's got hers.
Grandma has hers.
Just 17 years old, Joe has an entourage of 30 people to look after here this weekend. Named the league's top prospect at Christmas, in the hockey world, Joe Thornton is already a household name.
Thank you, sir.
Like Mario Lemieux, Eric Lindros, and other number 1 picks before him, Thornton may one day be the kind of player who can carry an entire franchise. For now, he is the only teenager in the draft who knows how this day will go.
You ready, Mom?
Yeah.
My tie's not straight, Mom.
None of the other top-ranked prospects know exactly how they stack up. Russian-born Sergei Samsonov is one of them. Yesterday, he was interviewed by more scouts from more teams than he can remember.
We're picking 6th in the draft, okay? Boston picks first. I think they're going to take Joe Thornton. You probably heard of all these guys.
The pressure of playing in Montreal. You're going to the corner store and someone tells you, Sergei, you're no good. How would you react to that?
Just doesn't say anything.
Would you try and prove him wrong the next time?
Maybe I'm nice, but not in the story, no.
Tell us about yourself, what your strengths are, and what you could bring to the Boston Bruins.
I'm kind of offensive player.
Last year, Sergei led the Detroit Vipers to a championship in the International Hockey League. A natural goal scorer, he was named IHL Rookie of the Year.
For a team that's in the United States.
Well, it doesn't matter to me.
The big knock against Samsonov is his size. He stands just 5 feet 8. Can he make the necessary adjustments?
2 things would concern us. Number 1, can the opposition intimidate you, like scare you off playing your game? And the other thing is, if they put a good checker on you, can they prevent you from scoring? I've seen you play a lot. I don't think the National League guys will scare you. But what happens when you're really being checked close? Are you going to be able to keep playing your game?
Sure. Well, I guess it's the only way for me. Just to
See, I think the big thing, Sergei, if you get into the National League, is you're not going to get 10 scoring chances a game. You've got to continue to play hard, continue to play smart, wait for your opportunities, and you might get 3 or 4 chances.
Good job.
Joe Thornton's size helped get him here. At 6 feet 4 and 198 pounds, he is still growing.
All right, Joe. How'd it go?
What are the league's general managers looking for this year? Is it scoring or playmaking ability? Is it size or speed? Sergei Samsonov and the others will just have to wait and see.
To all our fans back in Long Island, we hope you're enjoying this day as much as we are. We are proud to select, with the 4th selection, Roberto Luongo from Val-d'Or.
Joe Thornton to Boston, Patrick Marleau to San Jose, Olli Jokinen to L.A. The first 3 picks go pretty much as expected. Then, New York Islander general manager Mike Milbury makes things interesting.
Congratulations, kid. You stay there.
The 4th pick, Roberto Luongo, could be a franchise player. But the next pick, the 5th pick, belongs to Milbury too. He lets it be known that one is up for grabs.
Well, want to talk about anything, Al, or should just move on?
Gotta wait now, Mike, I guess. Just gotta wait it out, buddy.
Draft picks are risky propositions. They may not prove out for years. But a veteran NHL player can help a team right now.
I'm just looking for any other option that wasn't going to do it for us.
Tampa Bay GM Phil Esposito has just the guy Milbury wants. Jason Weaver.
No, that's not going to do it for me.
You won't meet anybody else besides Ritter, Mike?
Talk. I'm going to take a timeout. I got to milk this for all the TV we can get anyway.
The 6th pick of the draft belongs to Calgary.
Going back up?
Not yet.
Flames GM Al Coates wants Daniel Tkachuk. Now he's worried Millbury might let Tampa Bay get there first.
You want to give up a fourth round pick or a 6th round pick or something like that for them not to take the switch?
We get Weimer and we have to give up something else. We're just trying to figure out what else we give up. Did you give up Cruz?
To sweeten the deal, Millbury is prepared to throw in one of his current players.
Cruz, Anderson. Did you give up Holland?
You had to be impressed when the guy walked in the room. He was huge. He was huge.
The Boston Bruins have the 8th pick. They want Sergei Samsonov. But they're worried Calgary or the Islanders or even Tampa Bay might get him first.
Everyone's been reading about this kid for 2 years. You think they're gonna nail him?
You guys like Cruz at all?
Not really, no. No, we're not.
What kind of a pick could I give you? You got Dallas's 3rd?
For Weimer?
If we swapped,
yeah.
we got Weimer, and I'll give you Dallas's 3rd.
I don't think so, Mike. We're going to keep Weimer. The new owners want to keep him. That's why I didn't want to trade him.
Okay. Thank you.
The Islander Lightning deal is no go, but Millbury could still pick a player the other teams want.
All right, do it.
Delighted.
So we're going to do nothing.
They're making this thing look too complicated.
How nice of you to come again.
In the end, Millbury's pick poses no problems for the others.
New York Islanders are proud to select from Prince George Eric Brewer.
New York Islanders select Eric.
The 6th pick goes Al Coates' way.
Calgary is proud to select from the Barrie Colts of the Ontario Hockey League, Daniel Tkachuk.
The 7th pick, Tampa Bay, suits Boston's Mike O'Connell just fine.
All right. Mara. Well, now we're off the hook for that one too. You know, people in Boston, geez, you couldn't get Mara down.
For the Bruins, the number 8 pick is a no-brainer.
Detroit Vipers, Sergei Samsonov.
Can you give me your jacket before you go up?
Okay.
Harry Sinden.
Congratulations. We're happy to have you.
He arrived in North America speaking no English at the age of 16. He came with his father, who looked after him and cooked all his meals.
Congratulations. Welcome to the NHL.
Thanks.
Sergei's mother and younger brother did not come over until much later. Today, it all seems worth it.
There you go, Sergei.
Right on the tape.
Sergei Samsonov.
Wave to the crowd. Wave to the crowd.
I think I improved my game in all aspects. And most important thing.
Tomorrow, hockey reporters across North America will spread the news about a young Russian boy made good.
It doesn't bother me at all.
There are plenty of other success stories here this afternoon.
There we go. Geez, you look good in that uniform, I'm telling you. You look great.
Schoolboys yesterday. They are valuable assets now. The draft is over in less than 6 hours, but questions remain.
Congratulations.
Will they make it to the NHL?
All right. Did you meet Yuri?
Will they even sign?
Yeah. Moscow. We brought him for you. Maybe somebody else made you first.
Meet Joe, our other pick. Joe.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
How much are the draft picks really worth to the teams that select them? How much is any hockey player worth? Summer is contract signing season in the NHL. Some tough negotiations lie ahead.
What do you want to start then, with a basis of 3 and then go to 4 with an option? So
I think the best way to start, Donnie, is give me an idea of what you, if you want a 3-year deal, what's the package? What's the package?
Well, I want to be in a position to average out 1.5.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's not a bad raise. That's 250%.
Well, let me talk about Berezan's situation.
In that what I would be asking would be less of an increase than on that player.
Well, in the case of Berezan,
he's got a back-end loaded contract, which is a contract that we had to pay to get a goal scorer on our team, which lacks goal scoring at this juncture.
my problem, Don, very simply, at $1.5 million, is that I cannot pay Ty Domi $1.5 million for the role that he fills. I could
if he were a free agent, and I probably would, but I can't. It's a very simple matter of economic principle. I more than anyone appreciate what Ty Domi does for this team. I think you know that. But $1.5 million is outlandish for him.
If this year's top draft picks ever get the kind of money they and their agents are looking for, they will have a number of people to thank. Ty Domi, a 7-year NHL veteran, is a fan favorite in Toronto, and scoring goals has little to do with it. To back up his salary demands, his agents employ a relatively new technique. They compare Ty Domi to another Leaf player, rookie Sergei Berezan. Berezan is paid to score goals. Domi isn't, but that doesn't seem to matter.
Berezan and Domi are not comparables. In all due respect to both parties, they are not comparables. If you're going to compare Domi to Bob Probert...
Bill, are you telling me that 41 points to 28 points, there's no relevance?
About the type of player involved and the need that he fills. If you want to stick to the 28 over 41, then let's make a deal.
I'll stick to this, Bill. Ty Domi had 25 even strength points. Berezan had 29. Brings the distinction down to 4 points when they're on the ice on a 5-on-5 basis.
28 is to 42. It's 41, but 28 is to 42.
Yeah, but hold on
That's
now.
4 is to 6. That's 2 is to 3. And so unless we're going to drop the Berezan story, let's stick to the numbers.
No, I'm not prepared to let you just draw the distinction or the analogy on 41 to 28.
Because what do you do in relation to the 275 minutes?
Oh, no. Hey, I look at my lineup. I'll find somebody to get 275 minutes. I don't want it to get to that, Don.
I know, but I don't want to have to be you to tell the Toronto community that you'll get somebody else to do it as well as he does it.
Do you think Gino Odjick doesn't do it better than Ty Domi, or as good?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Pat Quinn would take Ty Domi in the drop of a hat.
Yeah, well.
And you know that as well as I do.
That's not the function here. The function here is to make a deal. You want 1.5, you're not going to get it. I want $1 million, I'm not going to get it.
Bill, I know you too long, and I know the Berezan deal hurts you people as a comparable. One guy got 41 points, one guy got 28 points. The guy who got 28 is a regular. He's the best at what he does in the league today, and you're saying to me he should take $600,000 less.
No, I'm not.
I have trouble
to take anything.
Well, I know, but he's not going to. As much as you can say to me, we're not going to pay it, you've got a problem on your hands because you've set a precedent on Berezan. Like it or not, he's there.
Colorado's Joe Sakic, a signing bonus of $15 million U.S. Philadelphia's Chris Gratton, a $9 million signing bonus. The average NHL journeyman, a salary of well over $1 million a year. And Toronto player agent Don Meehan, with 90 players in his stable, doesn't see a problem.
Suggesting that the amount of money that the players are earning is bad for the game, then I think that would be improper. It would be foolish to say that because if you're an owner or a manager, you simply don't have to pay the players. If it didn't make sense, then you wouldn't pay them. And yet they're paying them all.
Team owners and general managers feel trapped. Full player salary disclosure has been a common league practice since 1990. Everyone knows what everyone else is making now. GMs who fail to pay the going rate risk having a losing team on the ice and all the fan and media discontent that goes along with it. Harry Sinden has seen trends he liked more.
It's easy to sign a player. You just give them what they want. But it's another question to fight for what's fair and what's right and try to keep your teams, profitable. That's part of what you're doing as a manager, is managing the owner's money. And we're running out of money because we're giving it all to the players.
Even if collusion were legal, it has become increasingly hard to pull off. The GMs compete against one another. The pressure they feel to win, whatever the cost, is growing.
But, Mike, if I come to you once the player performs better than Smolinski, Stumpel, Niedermayer, Kozlov, Alfredson, and Sanderson.
Yeah, but see, I don't care what they got. You keep coming back to the marketplace, and I keep coming back to my team. I value Smolinski slightly ahead of Travis Green. I value Travis Green, but I can't dictate what they're doing in around the league. I can't. I mean, can you recognize my situation? But I have to have a salary structure that reflects my own economics. We are not the New York Rangers, and we are not the Philadelphia Flyers. We're in desperate need of a new building. Our attendance has been down for good reason. The team's not been good. But just because Victor Kozlov is going to get $2 million or Daniel Alfredson is going to get $2 million, I don't care if their statistics are identical. It doesn't make economic sense for me.
Increasingly, teams that don't pay top dollar are at risk of becoming farm systems for teams that do. Once they're free agents, established players are happy to go where the bigger money is. The Toronto Maple Leafs are hoping they have done enough to keep one of their stars from eventually packing his bags.
There are some GMs, when they get wind of this number, are going to be having $7,150,000 for 5 years. Now that breaks down to $1,430,000 a year. All right, pretty close to that 1.5 that we felt it would take to do a deal. And it's very much like Berezan. He starts off at 8, he goes to 1, he goes to 1.2, he goes to 1.4, and then he goes to 1.750 plus 4 in signing in the 5th year. Now, there's another thing that we haven't talked about today. There probably hasn't been an individual like you who does what you do that at a certain point in time loses a real zeal to do that. It doesn't become so much fun. And it's not easy what you do, and that's how we're commanding this kind of money. We wouldn't have a chance in hell of getting these numbers with 99% of the teams in the league, because much due to your own strength of how popular you are in this community.
This is all U.S.
Yep.
We still have this same thing?
Yeah.
The same 5th year?
Yeah.
Guaranteed?
Yeah.
And the 6th year is an option like the 5th year?
The 6th year, he's talking about $1.9 million.
Let's get it done.
At the Boston Bruins head office, Harry Sinden faces growing attendance problems at the newly built Fleet Center if he doesn't sign Joe Thornton. Against his better judgment, Sinden feels compelled to fall in line.
We are guilty of behaving in the same manner that many, many teams behave, because in effect we gave them what they wanted. We set the number. It was around $2.5 million a year. It was way too much money, but this was a pure case of selfishness on the Bruins' part. The demands of our fans were such that we were going to pay, even though no rookie should get that kind of money.
The Thornton contract sets a clear precedent for Boston's other top prospect, Sergei Samsonov.
If Joe were to achieve 2 out of these 6 criteria, Calder 1st through 5th, Rookie of the Year, 20 goals or more, 35 or more assists, 60 or more points, If he gets 2 out of the 6 for this level of performance, it puts him in a category of $2.5 million. And our feeling is that if he's in a situation where he gets $800,000 for scoring 20 goals or 35 assists or 60 points, then you should get the same.
The World Series trophy stays in Cooperstown, New York during the off-season. The NFL's Vince Lombardi Trophy stays in Canton, Ohio. The NBA's Larry O'Brien Trophy stays in Springfield, Massachusetts. But not the Stanley Cup. It spends every summer on the road. Everyone associated with the winning team gets to keep the cup for 2 days of the year. The name of every member of the winning team is engraved upon it.
And I go dancing for
what really makes it special to me, and I think what really defines our sport, is the fact that we can share our trophy with our friends and our family. And I'd especially like to thank
For the next 3 months, the cup is the exclusive property of the Detroit Red Wings. They are free to do with it what they want.
You never dared to breathe. You never dare the stars. And there am I supposed to even say? Suppose I even say I see.
OK? Arrête de se photo. Envoie encore.
The cup has been overseas before, but never to Russia. This year, former Soviet stars Vyacheslav Fedosov, Igor Larionov, and Vyacheslav Kozlov have earned the right to bring the cup home. When they arrive in Moscow's Luzhniki Stadium, they are greeted by 100,000 Russian fans. President Boris Yeltsin among them. But summer only lasts so long. Already other players, unproven players, are working hard to take the cup away.
You might think you're good. You might be projected to be good, but you're only good on paper. There's nothing that guarantees you anything. People your age, you should get better every shift, every period, every game, every season. That's the mentality you have to possess. It's hard to go top shelf every night. It's hard to make a great play every night. So how in the hell am I going to turn that coach on to where he wants me around? All right? Here's the way. You play above your size all the time. You go to the net all the time. That's big time. If you've got that reputation and you've got talent, you're a premier player in National Hockey League.
If elite player agent Mike Barnett agrees to represent a rookie, attending Chuck Grillo's 3-week hockey camp in July is a non-negotiable part of the deal.
We firmly believe that it gives them a jump when they get to their camp that many other players who are training at home in a more casual environment do not have. The benefit that they would see both in on-ice conditioning and training and in the overall experience of understanding what it takes to be a qualified NHL professional in year-round commitment. It's a major wake-up call for 17, 18-year-olds to see the way a Sergei Fedorov or a Wayne Gretzky or a Brett Hull train in the summer now when they have Stanley Cup rings in their hand, Hart trophies, Art Ross trophies, and they're still pushing themselves to degrees that the juniors never thought they were capable of doing.
Move, Bart, move! Yeah, see?
For rookies and veterans alike, the NHL's midsummer message is the same. Get ready. It's going to be a lot tougher than you think.
$170? Keep it going. One more. You got one more. Let's go. Drive it. You got one more in you. One more minute. Come on. That's it. Okay. Water for him?
The one wonderful thing about a training camp and about any new season is that it really is a chance to remake ourselves. That whatever it is that happened a year ago is something that can be remade again. And it's that wonderful possibility, that preparation beforehand and getting into the swing of things early to start to write that new story.
Once training camp officially begins in early September, some basic NHL truths begin to emerge. There is only one catch with getting a performance bonus. You have to perform.
You got to push yourselves. You got to concentrate on what we're doing. The object is to make you tired, guys, and then make you think and make you execute when you are tired, which you are right now.
Come on, take the passes here. Warner one touches it there. It's almost in our net. Take the passes. Lengthen your stride out, not hard, just lengthen your stride. Lengthen your stride.
If you're going to be a good player at any level, and this is the best league in the world, so you're playing with the best players in the world, you're going to come in and kick somebody off his chair. And that's the way it is. It's up to every guy here that was here before to earn and keep what's rightfully his. And it's up to every young guy to come in and take somebody's job. And that's what this game's all about.
Since 1967, and I've been here since then, I don't think we've ever been in the process of remaking this team since that year like we are this year. And I say that to stress as much as I can for those of you who haven't made it yet to the National Hockey League. There's an opportunity here that only presents itself once in a while, and it's here on this team this year. Believe me when I tell you that.
Part of Boston's rebuilding process is the team's new coach. Successful in Montreal and Toronto, Pat Burns has always been known as a tough guy. A year in broadcasting has done little to change things.
Nothing will be given to anybody here. Everything will be earned. Everything will be decided. If we think that a young player can contribute to this hockey club, will help this hockey club win hockey games, we will keep him. If we feel that he's not ready to contribute, we're not going to keep anybody just for that reason.
He's a quick little bastard, too, isn't he? Whenever you draft a player and they come in, you're hoping. You're really hoping that what I saw in junior or in the International League, wherever it might be, I hope what I saw, he can still do it. So when Sergei showed those flashes early, it kind of eased your mind a bit that, okay, he can do it.
Training camp is about turning bosses into believers.
Nice play. Jesus Christ, what a play. see that play?
Samsonov has been so impressive, Boston's brass are even starting to view his agent in a favorable light.
It's a tribute to Grossman that he knew his player. Grossman said, "We want the same as Thornton." And I said, "No, I'm not going to give you the same as Thornton." He said, "Sergei's going to come to camp, and you have to pay him what you're going to give Joe, because he's going to dazzle you." So he came to camp, he dazzled us, and we signed him.
For the year's #1 draft pick, it's been a different story.
We're saying to Cheesy, we should take a film of Allison, right? And show it to Thornton. So this is what you're going to be if you don't get your act together. Sergei had an idea what it's going to be like. Joe thought he had an idea, but he didn't. Nor should he, until you go. And I think he was probably a bit surprised by the caliber, not only of the players who are stars in the National Hockey League, but players who played 2 or 3 years in the minors who are fighting to get into that position.
Despite his exceptional playmaking abilities, the Canadian boy has yet to acquire the fundamentals of the NHL game.
Well, he didn't really know how to check. He didn't understand the defensive part of the game. And I don't think he expected to be checked as hard as he was about to be. And he was never ready for the unexpected, where he'd take the puck in junior and do what he wanted with it for a while. Here, he'd take it and lose it immediately. My expectations were probably a little higher than they should have been for a player that young. You know, it's a man's game up here, and they've been playing, as I said, against boys.
You know, and maybe show him some techniques to help him. You know, I hope he stays. I think if he learns to play tough, if he feels comfortable about the physical part of the game, I mean, Jesus. When he does something as a good workout, we got to make sure we tell him he had a good workout, because he's been reading all this other shit in the paper. We got to make sure that you can pick the bad, but when he has a good workout, say, "Hey, that's a good workout. Keep it going." As a kid that young, he doesn't know.
They come to a reality of what the NHL is all about. Players reach that reality at different points. Some never reach it, and some never play.
Watch the floor there.
In Detroit's Joe Louis Arena, a special ceremony takes place before the Red Wings' first home game of the season. For the first time in 42 years, Detroit fans get to watch a Stanley Cup banner rise to the rafters. The Stanley Cup is then officially taken away from last year's winners. Once more, it is up for grabs. The first game of the season is the one time in the NHL calendar year when everybody, technically at least, has the same chance.
The key is don't let your guy beat you off the boards, anybody. He's your man, you beat him off the boards.
No fancy plays through the neutral zone. Get it in deep. Set the tone right off the bat. Get the first couple, first one. You know, we'll start pressing a little bit, and they'll try to put on the show, and we'll take advantage of that.
Come on, Pepe, strong in front here. All right, here we go.
In the Fleet Center, halfway through the first period, the Boston Bruins again find that last place is well within reach.
Go, Dima. Why, Bench? Why? I don't understand why. Why, Bench? Why? You got no chance to get the puck anyways.
But the new coach clearly likes Samsonov. Burns calls him Sammy and gives him a regular shift.
We got to get to their sticks here. Christ, they scored 3 goals because their sticks are on the ice. Get the goddamn sticks up.
The Samsonovs understand their boy may still have a lot to learn.
Skate away from it. Then the defenseman will go to you, and you can chip it off. If you stay up against the board, he's going to come to you. So get off the board a little bit. Let him come, then you can chip it off. Good job anyways.
But Sergei has made the team, And for now at least, his season looks relatively secure.
Gotta have quality passes here, boys. Quality passes.
Whenever the Thornton family arrive to see Joe, it's a coin toss whether they'll find him on the ice.
Joe Thornton, there he is. Going to see what CL?
Burns has not been impressed with the young center's intensity. The coach wants Thornton to pick up his game, to show more commitment, more drive, and desire. Not dressed, Joe will be watching tonight's game with his father in the arena lounge. Whether he stays with the big team or heads back to the juniors is still an open question.
The Stanley Cup.
But it's only September. The season is 8.5 months long. There are 82 games to go, and then the playoffs. Someone will be fired. Someone will lead his team to the Stanley Cup. Someone will retire. Someone will be named Rookie of the Year. At this point, that's about all that's certain.
Media will absolutely make your business better. You're in the business of hockey, so you want to make sure that you take advantage of it.
We have a good game. We have a great game.
We have the greatest product in the world. We've taken it to a new level in terms of exposure, but it requires the help of the players to do commercials, to go on TV shows, to do interviews.
Part 2 of The New Ice Age, tomorrow at 9 on CBC.
I'm Peter Mansbridge. Canadians get an interest rate break. That story next on The National.
The New Ice Age, a year in the life of the NHL on CBC. Brought to you by Bell, connecting you to the people, places, and things that matter. And by Ford. For now, forever. The New Ice Age, a year in the life of the NHL on CBC. Brought to you by Bell, connecting you to the people, places, and things that matter. And by Ford. For now, forever.